disregard. There we are. Hey, there's no tech issues. Hit the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
Is there? Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. Scared me for a second. I thought we started some tech issues. Good evening, everyone. Happy Christmas weekend. Brian and I are super stoked that you're here to join us. Hope the holidays are treating you fine. I'm, of course, Hypnotist Jim Kellner. This is my trusty sidekick, Hypnotist Brian Bay. Say hi, Brian.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Yes, I said Merry Christmas because I live in a free country and I love it while it lasts.
Well, I'm personally offended. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Of course, we're here on Friday Night Live, as we are most every Friday night. We are here to hypnotize you through the screen. Michael Brody is there. Hello,
hey, Michael. How are you doing
awesome
this evening?
Stage hypnotist out there in the world. I'm going to drop this link. If you want to join us live,
Becca,
join us.
Beautiful, all the way from the other side of the country, other side of the planet.
Right. Yeah. So we're so there's you may find a link somewhere. Hopefully, you'll find a link somewhere to join. If you'd like to join us, you can join us live. You can get hypnotized right there on the screen with us, or you can get hypnotized at home all by yourself. It's all up to you. Let me just make another note here. Brian, how's your week been?
Oh, I'm finally feeling human again. I was battling a not COVID little head cold, kind of congestion and everything, and that just threw me for a loop. I think this first time in over 20 years that it puked snow outside, and probably in the first time in the history of ever in my lifetime that I was not out driving in it, playing around, doing something obnoxious just because I was like, one, I'm probably in no shape to drive, but I was just wiped. So I'm glad to be feeling human again. So how about you? You were doing some traveling.
Yeah. Had a show down in Phoenix, and oddly, the weather wasn't even that warm down there. I was pretty upset about that. It was a lot warmer than it was here, but still, at night, sitting out on the porch with my friends, I actually had to have a jacket on. It was cold. So not pleased.
Well, God, it had to be what in like you said the 70s, low 70s?
No, it was down in the 60s. It was down in the 60s. And at night it was probably in the 40s. It was pretty cold at night. Did not enjoy that at all.
Let me go into my Wayback Machine of 15 degrees outside last night. I woke up and there was probably, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, half an inch of ice just encased in the SUV. So that took a hot minute to thaw out and actually get in.
Wow.
But it handled the roads like a champ. I'm super spoiled. It's just a beast on the roads, and found out today that the do not enter signs during inclement weather, it's Latin for right this way. So I almost had a guy hit me head on in the doctor's office parking lot today, and I just
wow.
Yeah, not even the holiday cheer could keep the profanities from flowing from my lips. But
damn, too bad. Hey, how's your week, everybody? Let us know how your week is. You ready for Christmas? -23 wind chill in Michigan. I guess we should stop complaining, Brian.
Well, he lives in Michigan. He earned that.
Exactly. It's too good for living in Michigan.
They've got salt on the roads, and apparently, just disposable vehicles out there. They just the environment just eats your car, and then you just go, oh, I don't have to worry about trade-ins or anything else. It's just an insurance claim probably. But I was actually going to ask Michael where he's joining us from. So we got Michigan. He got two birds stoned at once this evening, so we're ahead of the ball game.
Yeah, definitely. So we were planning to have Shawn Summers on tonight, but again, he's having some technical difficulties, so not sure if we'll be able to get him on or not. We're hopeful. But hey, if you got hypnosis questions, comments, concerns, please drop those in the comments there. We'd love to answer those for you. I did want to address. So Brian, I did a show, and it was a rough crowd, as I explained to you. There he is. As I explained to you, it wasn't just a rowdy crowd like I was told. They were actually rude. They were really rude. They would not shut up for me to even start the show. But once we got the show started, had some okay people, but they'd been drinking a little too much. And I told the guy, we need to start earlier if they're big drinkers. But that's what happened. We got two of them though, in good state of hypnosis, and it was really interesting afterwards, because there is this. And we've talked about this before. This is for people that maybe are turning in for the first time. And I'd love to have some feedback from Michael Brody, of course.
Jim, it sounds like you're going to bring back just evil flashback memories of a small pizza venue underground at Pike's Place Market of ghosts of our Christmas past and the bane of our existence.
Brian, I've done so much work to put that behind me, and now you just reminded me of it.
You started it, so there I was with a rowdy crowd that had been drinking and just were the rudest people in the world.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because actually I had thought that this was the rudest crowd that I had ever dealt with, but they weren't. They were not the rudest, because that crowd that you're talking about, Brian, was the rudest.
Your Phoenix crowd was probably the rudest. The Seattle folks at this, I think it was like a birthday party or something, were just, I mean, it was the textbook definition of how alcohol just gives you temporary brain damage. Not, hey, I'm having a buzz or I'm having a good time, I feel a little giggly and silly. Just straight up basic, sir, please sit in your seat and be quiet.
Yeah, no kidding. So I want to let everybody know, I'm going to have, Shawn's going to join us in just a minute. Looks like he's there. We don't see his video. Oh, there's his video. Great. We're going to add him on just a second. I just want to finish this up real quick.
Yeah,
so
I'm sorry.
No problem. The other thing I want to talk about was, because there is this idea, there's a bunch of hypnotists out there, and I don't know if you've run across them, Brian, but I'm in all the Facebook groups and stuff, and Michael, I'm sure you've seen this, but there are hypnotists out there that think you don't need an induction. And I think that might work for some stuff. I don't think you call it hypnosis, then I think you call it coaching. But anyway, I don't think that idea
or assault.
Right, exactly. I don't think that idea works when we're talking about like stage hypnosis and street hypnosis. I think there has to be some kind of a formal induction. Like I said, I'd love to have Michael's feedback in there. And Michael, I always ask the hypnotists that are watching, please drop a link to your website in case people want to reach out to you. But so there's this division. There's these guys out there that go, oh, you don't need trance and stuff. And then Anthony Gailey did a talk at Heartland that said, hey, sometimes, there's different things happening. Some people, they experience, one thing and other. But the reason I'm telling this part is because what I found was after the hypnosis, this woman tells me, I go, how was the experience for you? And she goes, I checked out. I was gone. I don't remember any of it. I feel like I just woke up. And she had been dancing around like crazy. It was awesome.
And you would think that she'd be pissed. Like, I paid my admission. I got up on stage. I didn't get to see a show. I don't remember anything. I was just gone. And it's almost like you just be like, you were the star of the show. Like, look, here's your ticket money back and stuff like that. But maybe a way to get, people incentivized when, and then you kind of get people to kind of fight to come up on stage and go, all right, you don't have to sit there and be like, come on, Bueller, we got empty chairs. Because then it just looks like you're begging.
Oh, you never. No, you never do that. I learned that. I used to do that sometimes if it was a tough one. Now I say, we're bringing people up, and then I just turn away. I fiddle with my phone or something, so it doesn't look like I'm invested at all. Now, if I need to, later, I will cajole them a little bit. Hey, we need to get one more person up here. But for the most part, yeah, it's better. You don't beg for people. Is that right, Michael? So I want to address this. So Michael says, I tell people they're drinking too much not to be hypnotized. I don't like working with drunk people, Michael. I don't like to. They're difficult to hypnotize, and then they're a pain in the butt. And then he says, yes, absolutely need an induction. I agree, Mike. Don't have to agree with me, by the way, to be on the show. You can disagree. Somebody says, "What's up? What's up?" He's over on Twitch. Tim Barlin, one of my favorite dudes in the world. He's out in Ellensburg, Washington.
Oh God, he's probably buried under snow.
Oh, he's posted pictures. It's been awful. Tim, drop a link down to your website. Love to promote you there. And come on, you guys, Michael or Tim, come on the show sometime. People need to understand that hypnosis is and what hypnosis isn't. You're absolutely right. That's one of the reasons we do this show. That's right. We want to educate people. So if you're watching the show, you're a hypnotist, hit me up with a message and we'll get you on the show sometime if you want to be on. Go ahead, Brian.
And then your pre-talk, especially during the shows, and even if you're doing any sort of like therapeutic or actually any type of hypnosis, the street hypnosis, whatever it is, it's almost like a quick, maybe like 60 to 90 second hypnosis mythbusters. We're not going to make you bark like a chicken. You're going to keep all your clothes on, unless it's an adult show and everybody's consented in advance, those types of things. And you're just kind of reassuring that, like, hey, you're going to be okay. This is going to be fun. And, get out of your own way and stop overthinking it.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to bring Shawn on now. Drum roll, everybody. Drum roll. Mr. Shawn Summers, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Kellner of Infinite Patience. Thank you.
What's that? Are you?
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
After all the problems. Funny. Oh, so funny.
So
I'll see you later. Funny man. I'll see you later.
What's really funny is I'm looking at like the dashboard of where we're broadcasting from. So I see Jim, Shawn, I see you just, it's just like a ghost screen, like a rectangle with your name. But then if I look over on my side screen, I see your picture. So at least on Facebook, you're showing up live.
That sounds kind of cool. You should take a screen capture of it and send it to me. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a bad camera. Oh well. Oh, I'm like moving all over. It's like,
yeah, we're gonna put a special guest there in the big
disorientation. Ooh.
Oh,
and then on my end, I've got like a 3-second delay, so it jumps on this screen and then it goes to the other one.
Like a sitcom.
Well, like you'll see me kind of glance
like a psychology test, like EMDR we're doing with.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I see it kind of out of in my periphery, and I'm like, wait, what's moving over there? Jim's messing with my squirrel syndrome.
So Becca was supposed to go to a rave, but her friend couldn't make it, so she didn't get to go. What do we got? We got catch up on some comments. Would love to be on the show. Tim, send me a message. We'll get you on. Let me know if you want to be on the therapeutic night or the having fun with hypnosis night. Becca, this is still defo fun, right?
That's
Scott King.
That's like millennial for definitely or something.
Right.
So I've heard.
Fantastic. All right. Shawn, our special guest. Welcome. Tell the folks about you.
Oh, Lord. What about
close?
Me? Let's see. Oh, so gracious, Brother Bay. So gracious. So let's see. I've been registered with the state of Washington as a hypnotherapist since 2012. I was an officer in the local chapter of the NGH, the Washington State chapter of the NGH, for 7 years, something like that.
Which, for those who don't know, is the National Guild of Hypnotists.
Yeah, the Washington chapter of the National Guild, which actually, well, we have to get into the history of that. But anyway, it was the Charles Tebbets chapter before Roy Hunter approached. My understanding is Charles Tebbets had done it long enough. Roy Hunter was going to take over, and Roy Hunter said, "I'll take it over if we merge with the NGH, National Guild of Hypnotists." So then it became that was the
meetup thing, right?
No. The meetup thing's totally different. That used to be, oh my gosh, I'm brain locking on his name, and he's awesome.
Keith Livingston,
Keith Livingston.
But he found you guys. You guys used to be advertised in meetups. I don't think it is now.
I was going to say that's
how
kind
Brian
of my.
found you guys.
You're right.
I'd like to kind of tell a brief story, but once you're done with your intro,
I'm done.
No,
okay,
I don't require big info. Down and dirty. Done.
So I'll tell some stuff. Hold on, let me just give a good intro for Shawn. So Shawn,
Yeah.
president of the local chapter of the National Guild of Hypnotists. So I should have done this in the beginning instead of making him try to talk about himself, which some people have trouble with. I have no problem with it. I'll tell you how awesome I am anytime, but that's enough about me. So Shawn was the NGH president. He's gone to some trainings with Matt James. If you folks are all familiar with him, if you're in the hypnosis world, you probably know him. Great program, NLP.com. Go check out some of his stuff. Very affordable training, at least from my point of view. I don't know if Shawn would endorse it. I'm just saying. So, Shawn, met. I think we all. I think I had met Shawn before, but anyway, Brian came to an NGH meeting one night, and that's how we kind of met Brian, and. I think that night was the night. Oh, that's right. So one of the reasons that I started. Yeah, he did. That's right. He was talking about doing like rapid and instant hypnosis, and it was something I'd been wanting to do anyway. I heard about people doing this out on the streets, and this was. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, guys.
Definitely way pre-COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, around 2017. Yeah, 2017. So we go. So I've been wanting to do this. I've been a stage hypnotist, so it should be a no-brainer. But I'm still scared to do it, to go out on the street and try to hypnotize people. But I'm at this meetup, and it was like, wow, Shawn taught a bunch of great stuff, and I said, I'm going to go do this. Brian, his first time at a meetup, goes, I'm going too. And so Brian and I and a woman that was there, Danny, we all went out, and we went out on the street. Down in Roosevelt University District.
So there's definitely there's a little bit more to the story that Jim. I don't know if I may have shared this with you, but Shawn, I don't know if you're fully aware. So
I often ask that question of myself.
I'm gonna tattle on you, but because this is kind of all your fault. Why I'm here, or at least you started it. So. That week that you guys had that meeting, my entire life, like if it could have just gone completely to hell, it did. Like aside from me getting arrested or anything like that, thank God that didn't happen. But like I was just, years later, I've been able to kind of process like what it was, but I was just on that verge of like mental breakdown. I don't want to play adult anymore. I just like, I'm done. And so like, I just stopped what I was doing and I jumped online and I was like, I'm just going to go look for like the most obnoxious, whatever it is. I thought back to high school graduation. It was like hypnosis stuff. And I'm like, cool. I was on Meetup and I was like, hypnosis near me. And I think it was like the first or second one. It was like, oh, we're in Edmonds. It's tonight. I emailed it and it was like, yeah, here's where it's at. And it was some lady's condo. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, this has got every bit of stranger danger. And at that point I was like, I don't care if I get kidnapped. I don't care if I get whacked by some
You
mafia.
must have been so disappointed when you came in and saw how normal, boring.
No. This it gets even better.
That, but
so I go upstairs and I knock on the door or ring the doorbell. And Shawn, you're the one who answered. Like you're dressed up, dress shirt and everything. Your hair is all slicked back. And I'm like, and you're super formal. You were like, hello, good evening, welcome. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting whacked. So we're in this room and everybody's like, oh, I do this. And we're kind of, who's what and who and where. And they're like, so Brian, how long have you been a hypnotist? And I was like, yeah, no. I was like, dude, I'm a like mentally broken and physically broken military vet, and I sell insurance, and my life is just kind of going completely to shit. And I kind of just like it was kind of that like get out of my own way. I just didn't care anymore. And I just kind of opened up to you guys and I was like, hey, I'm kind of looking for, like, I'd had one therapeutic treatment. This lady was like, kumbaya, like my ADD. I just want to like choke slam this woman. And I was like, you took my last like $300 and I am just, and so I was like, look, I need to get off all these meds that are giving me all sorts of side effects and making so much stuff work. And you were like, I was like, can I just kind of be a crash test dummy and just see if this works or gives any type of relief? And you were like, yeah, pull up a chair. And I was like, you're like, I'm going to kind of sit really close to you. And, you know, you started to grab like the back of my neck and kind of like move me around. And I'm like, oh yeah, definitely getting whacked. All right, just I'm going to be released from my suffering. And so you did the do, and then we wrapped everything up. I got to experience like a little bit of like the success of like, okay, this is a little bit what it's like. And then Jim, you came up to me after the show and you're like, hey, you mentioned something about like screen printing and you're starting your own business. And I was like, yeah. He goes, how much can we make a couple of shirts for me? And I was like, dude, I just got extras and, you know, vinyl's cheap. I'll totally hook you up. You're like, yeah, we're going to go do street hypnosis next week. Make a shirt for yourself. Come on out. And I think it was not too long after we all three of us went to, I think, Justin's training down in Seattle, where I had my first success of like hypnotizing somebody. And that blew their mind and my mind probably equally. And then that encouraged, you know, Jim, you were the one who was like, hey man, I really want to work with you and try to help you. Like I could totally see it. Like you're reaching out for help. And like, that's the hardest part. So, you know, Shawn, thank you.
Oh,
I'm here because of you being that little bit of a conduit. Then Jim picked everything up and started putting me in touch with different people who have worked with me and helped me. And that's why I'm like super big, like on the mental health stuff of it's not even that something's wrong with somebody, you know, use this tool for good to go and, you know, better your life and all that stuff. So that's kind of my Christmas gift to both of you guys this evening is just my gratitude. And so now that I have like totally, you know, uplifted you and give you like a ton of like internet street cred, roll with it,
no
man.
place to go but down. Yay!
Motto of the airborne.
What was that? Motto of the airborne.
Yay for
the motto of
gravity.
the airborne.
And
it doesn't matter. I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
Mark says, let him know there are a few people out here that can relate. I think he's talking about to the near nervous breakdown thing. There's other people that can relate. I want to give. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was going to say now you know the like life crisis breakdown is over, and I've just been coming back super strong. It's amazing, and now I'm like right up to here with the midlife crisis, like wanting to go, you know, fly airplanes and skydiving license and stuff like that. You know, so it's definitely allowed me to just really reach out and grasp life. It's amazing how powerful this very, very simple tool is. So
there is hope, Mark. So Shawn, what else do we need to know about you?
Nothing, but
we've kind of told everybody everything
before because I'm such an open book. Inside joke. Anyway, so but Brian, thank you. That was very gracious of you. I really do appreciate that, because to be totally honest, I did feel bad during that period of time that I didn't do more to help you. And just, I don't think at that point, I mean, we're talking a better part of 10 years. Well, you know, 17. I mean, anyway, a number of years ago, five good years ago. I think at that point, I just really, with what you were showing when you came through the door, I just thought, yeah, that I don't have the chops to approach that. Right.
Oh, no, which is totally understandable. Like, I don't blame you. Like, I was just, so that's kind of what I'm not sure if you missed any of the previous episodes that we've done, where I tell people, I'm like, you can be just like the simplest gesture, the simplest act that you don't even know, just by saying, I understand, or I can relate, or tell somebody a little bit of a story to give them just that little, that just little nudge to get them over the hump, to change their life. And that's what you did for me that night.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so glad.
And then that allowed Jim to be like, okay, like, here's somebody that I can work with. He does do the hypnosis stuff. And, you know, it was, you know,
well,
all of you guys got me, you know, closer and closer and closer and closer to, you know, a solution.
When I saw most of your show with all of your show with Dan Hedrick, and it looked like he did a bunch of work with you. He did a lot in a single day. And I can tell you that was, I've never been more just mentally and emotionally smoked for somebody who spent the entire day in a lazy boy recliner in all my life. That sounded just awesome. Yeah.
But
I was very happy to hear about that.
I mean, the two of you guys, you know, put me on this path, and now I'm spending my Friday night before Christmas with you guys hanging out. And
the night before Christmas.
Because I know better than to go, you know, get involved with family over the holidays. It's, but
that way danger lies.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing, since you brought up that night, just a kind of a funny, my side of our initial interaction, because I think it's fair to say, and I think you've already said, you know, you had a lot going on then. You radiated certain vibes of maybe everything not quite right in your life right then.
Oh yeah, the look on your face was like, don't make any sudden movements.
Yeah, so while you're going, oh, well, it's so funny to hear you tell the story about, oh, I'm going to get whacked. Because I'm thinking, okay, ex-military, looking like maybe some PTSD issues. Oh, okay, the other things in his life are falling apart. Yeah, let's do shock inductions on him. Great idea. Great idea.
But that's you're like, I'm going to be off to the side. So, you know, where I could just dump him down to the ground. Oh, it was...
Well, you know, there is that. And the other thing that was funny, of course, was there were certain positions. Well, it didn't matter. Anyway, where you do it for the safety of the client. But if you're not sure about the client, it's also good positions to be safety for you, because you kind of have your hand where, you know, you're keeping them. I'm trying to get this on camera. You're keeping them from falling out of the chair, right? Because you have your hand on their shoulder, say, and your forearm. I'm trying to get this on camera. Your forearm, where if they move toward you, you can kind of push them back up. And it's, you know, it's good for safety for them. But in that instance, I was thinking, yeah, this is good for safety for me too.
Well, just in case. Now I'm going to tattle on your we're going to highlight your martial arts background, right?
Oh, all right, if you must. You don't have to.
Hey, you're ready.
But yeah, that was what I was going to say. Is the other thing was there were certain things whose then it was like, oh, you're a good solid. I mean, once I knew you weren't going to like explode. You were really fun to work with, because you know, I could do other things. And I remember once doing something, and it was more martial arty than hypnosis-y, because there was a little more amp than there should have been. I was like, ooh, sorry. He's like, no, that's good. That's good. I get it.
I like it hard.
It's a good move.
Oh, no. Jim, I told you that in confidence.
Hey, guys. So, look, hey, I just want to make sure we're going to have enough time for hypnosis. So it has been awesome catching up. And it's really cool to hear everybody's versions of the story. It's kind of awesome.
So Shawn, Becca has a question. How long have you done hypnosis for? I'm assuming that was directed at you. And then she wants to know if any of us know Darren Brown, and if so, what do we think of him? I do not know
personally, though. That'd be awesome. No, I think he's awesome. I think he's amazing. He's just done some amazing stuff.
I've probably heard the name. I'm just not very familiar.
Oh, do you not? I must send you endless links. He's fascinating. He's huge in England. Oh my God, national treasure in England. Done full stage shows with mentalism and various things. You must learn of Darren Brown. Just phenomenal stuff.
Like I need another rabbit hole to go down.
And some of it you could never do in the United States. You could just never do in the United States. He's got this one called Apocalypse. I think it's called Apocalypse. And they literally end the world for this guy, this kid. Like they have a big cattle call, and they kind of weed out who's a really good reactor. And essentially, he doesn't have a whole lot going on. He's disrespectful with his parents. His parents totally buy in. They put cameras in his home. They like hack into his TV feed. So they're making false news reports to fit into his shows with his local presenters about this asteroid coming by Earth that's going to screw everything up. And then
so this is like Idiot Abroad, only like the hypnosis version.
I mean, it's not even like Idiot Abroad. Then they sent him out. They literally sort of craft his whole world, and then they literally stage the asteroid hitting, knock him out with hypnosis, get him onto this military base, ex-military base they had somehow got control of, where they have literal zombies, and he's with these people, and he's like guiding these actors. He like wakes up in a hospital. It's like a whole 28 days later thing.
Oh,
Phenomenal.
if I had known that, if I had known
Phenomenal.
of him like 15 years ago, Christmas time would have been like, you better clean your room or Santa's going to like bring about the rapture and there's no, Christmas presents.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing show.
Oh,
and
God.
you could never do that here. You would be sued into, I don't care who signed off, you'd be sued into next week. I just can't imagine you could do it here. He did another one.
I'd almost do that just to testify.
Sorry guys. I gotta interrupt this. I always have to be the bad guy. Sorry guys.
How to keep the train moving.
No. I'm sorry.
No. It's I do make a commitment to everybody when I send out the notice about it that we're going to spend about 20 or 30 minutes chatting, and then we get on to the hypnosis. So I suffice it to say, go watch Darren Brown. He's got some great stuff out there. We need to get on with the hypnosis, guys. Are you ready?
Yes.
Sure.
Awesome. So
Brian, I think it's your night.
No, you're doing your Elman thing. I've already done my spiel for the evening. Like I'm spent.
Okay. And hey, I would be remiss if I didn't remind everybody that they've got a Christmas present waiting for them when they go to the Android Play Store and download Hypnosis Hero, the free app that gives you 10 wonderful recordings to help you in all areas of your life. Shawn, tell us the reason I brought Shawn on specifically for the Esdaile induction, he did this demonstration one time at an NGH meeting. I was a demo, and oh my goodness, I totally understood when you have somebody that claims to be stuck in hypnosis. People think they're stuck in hypnosis. They just don't want to come out of it. It's such a deep, deep state. I want to let you know, if you listen to this induction, in fact, I'm not going to pay close attention. I'm not going to pay close attention because I don't want to go out right now. But I am going to listen to it tonight. I'm going to listen to it afterwards. But if you don't want to go to sleep right now or whatever, then don't pay real close attention. You can just kind of watch it. And if you need to get up after this, set an alarm for yourself for 30, 45 minutes, something. How long is the induction going to take, Shawn?
I didn't time it. How long do you want it to take? I can talk quicker.
I think maybe 20, 25 minutes.
I honestly don't know. I'll try to keep it moving. I should have timed it. I didn't
think about it, but you did a demo at the thing, and it wasn't that long. I don't think
it was either. But time distortion, it might have been 10 minutes or an hour and a half. Who the heck knows?
True. Brian and I thought too at the end. So we're not going to really, oftentimes we jump in during the induction, but we're not going to do that this time because this is a very specialized induction. At the end, we might all work in some suggestions. So when you're done, Shawn, you can just say something like, okay. And then Brian and I will all three go back and forth with some suggestions to help people enjoy the holidays more, get rid of the stress, enjoy their families, whatever. And then we'll turn it back to you, and then you can do the closeout. And,
quick disclaimer, everybody, get in a comfortable position, sit back, relax, make sure you're out of range of furniture so that if you slump over and do exactly what Shawn says, it'll be a positive experience. If you're driving,
figure out the camera.
Just
sorry, don't mind me.
And Shawn, you've got this great gift of patter and like the perfect voice for this. So over to you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Right before the fall. You praise me beyond my merit, but I thank you. So just a couple of things. So one thing before I do start, if we could, I do want to let people have a little bit of time, and maybe I should put a timer up here just so I can see how much time is going on once I start, because we do want to keep it within a certain range. There we go. To just let people have a few moments of just sitting in that state if they make it in, and just letting them, I'll just give them suggestions about, letting things kind of fall into place while they're there. And then you can, whatever suggestions you want is great. But I think it's, once they're there, it's kind of good to let them stew a little there. I'm sure you enjoyed that. And in fact, one thing even, I think it's in Ellman's book that he talks about how talking to people after being in it, almost everybody said at a certain point, I just wanted you to stop talking. Like, it felt good. I enjoyed where I was, and I really just wanted you to stop talking.
Agreed.
So we can play with that. And then if we're going to do the induction now, we can talk about a little bit of the history later, if there's time. So I think the only thing I want to say is, yes, make sure, obviously, you are not, driving, flying, operating a drill press, nothing that's dangerous. Make sure you're in a place that is safe and secure. Make sure that you're physically in a place that's you're balanced. You're sitting in a good chair that's solid, or even lying down at some place, your balance is good. Your feet are on the floor. Your hands are either on the rest of the chair or on your lap. So you're physically stable. And another thing is, I'm going to, if I can figure out the camera appropriately, there we go. So one of the things that when you're in person, and I'm sure a lot of people do this, they'll give the person, there's a point where, just inside baseball, when you do the fractionation of the Ellman induction, this will make sense to some and not to others. It doesn't matter. You can look it up if you don't know, and if you do know, you know what I'm saying. For the fractionation, you want to give them a focus so that they're not distracted by whatever else when they open their eyes. So when I do that and I just go, open your eyes, I'll put my hand up here so you have something to look at, and I'll go close them back down, and just close your eyes back down. So that's what this will be about. And when we start, I'll just go ahead and say, and we can just start right now. You're in a comfortable position. You're, not operating power tools. That is totally on you. Be safe. Don't make me regret doing this. So everybody now safe, sound, and secure. You're in a good posture. And go ahead and follow my hand up and take a deep breath in. And just hold for a second and then let that breath out. That's great. And another deep breath in through your nose all the way down your spine and out to the tips of each and every finger and toe. And let that breath out. And another deep breath in. And as you let that breath out, just close your eyes and allow them to remain closed. Now relax your eyes and the muscles around your eyes so completely that as long as you maintain that level of relaxation, your eyes will just remain closed. They won't even want to open, sealed shut with relaxation. And once you've relaxed them to the point that they just won't open, give them a tug and a try and prove to yourself that they just won't open. They're sealed shut with relaxation. And the harder you try, the tighter they seal. And the tighter they seal, the deeper you go. Stop trying now and just relax even deeper. Now take that same quality of relaxation and allow it to flow down from the top of your head in a warm, relaxing wave all the way down and through you. Again, to the tips of each and every finger, each and every toe, so very relaxed. Every muscle, every nerve, and every fiber just letting go. In a moment, not now, but in a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and close them. And when I do, let yourself go up to 10 times deeper than you are right now. Open your eyes and close them. 10 times deeper now. Feel your body pulled by gravity into whatever surface it's up against. It's so heavy, so relaxed. Concentrating on your breathing, relaxed so much you may feel your natural, healthy heartbeat vibrating in places you don't normally feel. Like stones removed from a pond, every ripple travels further, so very relaxed. In a moment, I'm going to have you open your eyes and close them again, and this time just double that level of relaxation. Open your eyes and close them, doubling that relaxation now, deeper, deeper down, dropping, drifting, dreaming, sleeping, floating, flying, all the way down. Aware of your breathing, aware of your heartbeat, so very relaxed. In a moment, I'm going to have you open your eyes and close them again. And this time, just go as deep as you want. Open your eyes and close them as deep as you want now. Your imagination is the only boundary. Deeper, deeper, deeper down. So very relaxed. Now, I want you to focus on your right hand and feel your right hand drawing into a nice, tight grip. And then just extend that out forward, perpendicular to your body. Stiff and rigid like an iron bar. Feel it out there, strong and rigid at a 90-degree angle to your body, stiff, rigid like a steel girder. And the stronger it is, the more you may try to move it. And the more you try to move it, the more rigid it is. Solid and solid, can't even bend it. Try, satisfy yourself that you cannot bend it, no matter how hard you try. And now when I snap my fingers, let it melt, melt, melt safely down into your lap like a limp dish rag. Limp, loose, and heavy like a wet rag, so very relaxed. Now, you've done a wonderful job at creating physical relaxation. And now we're going to create some mental relaxation. In a moment, not yet, but in a moment, I'm going to have you count backward from 100. And with every number, just double your level of mental relaxation, until all the numbers have become dim and distant and just fade away, like a ball you may hold in your hand or a weight, and as you relax, gravity just lets it slip through your fingers. Just working that mental relaxation now. And as you count backwards, realize that the numbers are like mile markers on a highway showing your travel to your destination. You're going to the place of forgetting the numbers. That is your goal, not the counting. So if you find you're going too many numbers, you've missed the turn. You're not going in the right direction. So just don't miss that. You're very close to your destination. Begin to count backward now from 100. By the time you reach 97 or even sooner, let those numbers just fade away, dim and distant, and focus on that relaxation, broader, wider, dimmer, dimmer, until they're just absolutely gone. And once you know they're totally gone, just focus on your breath. Focus on the weight of your body, the feel of your mind, relaxed and free. This is a time to relax, let go, and take control of the power of your mind. Wonderful, relaxed, and free. Now, focus on your legs. I want you to focus on the weight of your legs, wherever they are, whatever position they're in, and just feel them growing heavier and heavier and heavier, so heavy as if they're made of lead, as if they're made of the core of a neutron star, as if they're the heaviest thing in the world, pressing into the surface it's on. And now, if you tried to move them, well, you don't even want to try, but if you try, they don't move. So very heavy, the weight of the universe pulling them down, so heavy, so relaxed, so wonderfully free. Stop trying now and relax even deeper. And take a moment to take a deep breath in and just feel how totally relaxed mentally and physically you are. Wonderful. Now, as relaxed as you are right now, intuitively you may be aware that there are levels even deeper, that there is a level that we might call the basement of relaxation. And while you may imagine your fist earlier when it was squeezing tighter, 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 and you might call that the height of tension, you can also imagine it so relaxed there's not an impulse, not a bit of tension in it, no firing of nerves. It's just loose, limp, inert, almost like it's not even a part of you, so relaxed. And we could call that the basement of relaxation. And I want to take you to the basement now. And we will do that by going down 3 more levels, which you can You can represent in your mind however is most helpful to you. It could be floors, it could be balconies, it could be plateaus in a nature scene, whatever is most meaningful to your mind. Now, we'll get to the basement by going from level A, where you are now, to A, and working our way down to C. And at every level, we double the relaxation of the level before. Beginning where you are now, already so very relaxed. Begin to travel down now to level A. It could be stairs, an escalator. It could be whatever way you wish to travel to level A. Whatever is most comfortable, nurturing, relaxing, comforting to you. Traveling down now to level A, and you may feel that doubling of relaxation, or A may just pop into your mind. And I'll give some a moment to go to A, others are already there. And once you're there again, just focus on your internal experience, growing even deeper, deeper than you may have imagined previously. Traveling down again now from A to B, doubling that relaxation, traveling however you wish, a staircase, an escalator, a balloon, a water slide, flying a Pegasus down, whatever's most meaningful to you, whatever feels wonderful. So very deep now. Traveling now from B to C, the very basement of relaxation. Travel down now again in whatever mode or method you choose. Deeper and deeper into yourself, into the limitless potential of your unconscious mind. Feeling so fabulous, so wonderful, crafting a world of perfect peace and perfection for you. So free, so relaxed, so refreshing and wonderful. And once you reach that basement of relaxation, I have a surprise for you. There's just another level even below that. Travel down however you wish, and once you're there, recognize it. And just say to yourself inside your own mind that you're here. You're finally here. So wonderful, so relaxed. You're in a place totally in your control of total peace, protection, safety, and nurture, and it is wonderful. And take a moment to allow all those things that you need to know, that you might, like when tension in your body prevents you from feeling the beat of your heart in other parts of your body, stones in the river blocking the ripples, the waves, the communication, all those are gone now. You're free to hear all the intuitions and guidance that you need. You're free to make connections that you might not have been able to before because of ego or fear or past blocks, barriers, and binds, and all that is gone for us. Now just take a moment and enjoy that. And in a few moments, you'll hear other voices, and just enjoy those suggestions fully and completely.
Jem, are you still with us?
And as you're going deeper and deeper into that comfortable state, you may find that there's more joy, more happiness in your life. And I wonder how excited you're going to be when you realize what really matters to you during the holiday season. Good, that's right. Just relaxing, just noticing how good it feels to not have to do anything. Perhaps your mind is already floating towards the new year and new goals, new ambitions. And I don't know how much deeper into trance you could go, but you know.
And as you float, drop, drift, and flutter in this wonderful state of relaxation, and all those learnings that you've now accumulated start to take place like Tetris in your mind and spirit, just feel an upwelling of just pure delight, simple, light delight, pure and unfettered by the daily concerns of getting by and making appointments, answering calls. All that is gone here. Here it's just a pure, wonderful mind, untethered, unfettered, and free.
Perhaps you're beginning to dream now. You could already be starting to dream. Dreams of wonderful experiences. Maybe you're dreaming of things that you're looking forward to. Maybe you're just dreaming about floating, drifting and drifting. As you continue to go just as deeply as you want into trance, knowing that you can come back to this state anytime that you want. Because all you really need to do is decide on a word right now, or maybe some physical sensation like pressing your thumb and pinky together or anything like that. And you could just say that word and give yourself that physical cue, one or the other, both, and you could keep repeating that word as you go into deeper and deeper states of trance, where you can reprogram yourself to release old ways of thinking, old habits that aren't serving you, as you grasp and embrace those new habits, those new ways of thinking that help you in so many ways in your life. That's right. You're doing perfectly. You are doing perfectly. And as you hear Shawn's voice coming in next, you'll find that the suggestions that he offers you will become even more profound and deeply integrated as he then guides you out of this wonderful state of trance if you choose to leave, or perhaps you'll stay in this state of trance until you awaken naturally. It's all up to you.
And now, if you're ready to emerge, you can follow my voice as I guide you out. And if you're safe and sound and you wish to stay there, or maybe even drift off to your night's sleep, if that's appropriate, then do that. And so for those who are staying and maybe going to sleep, just open yourself up to whatever wonderful realizations, wonderful learnings, experiences you may have in that perfect world inside your mind. And for those who are following me up back to consciousness for the rest of the show, just remember, as Jim said, you can come back here whenever it's appropriate to do so. Now that you know how to get to this place, it's available for you whenever you want, whenever it's safe, sound, and appropriate for you to come here. And all the learnings you need, all the guides, if your belief system is open to that, there's guides and knowledge, or just searching your own subconscious in this wonderful place to make connections and figure new things out. And this garden of creativity, all available for you, infinite and ever present, timeless, always available to you. Now, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And at 5, your eyes will be wide awake. But let's begin with 1, feeling wonderful. To begin to come back up into the room. 2, ready to do all those things you now know you can do. 3, free from all past blocks, barriers, and binds. 4, ready to move forward in this wonderful world of opportunities that you are ready to seize with your new understandings of how fabulous you are. Deep breath in. 5, fully awake, aware, and alive, ready for the rest of the show. And thank you for sharing your time with me.
Wonderful. That was fantastic.
Well done.
I wish we had worked out a choreography for who was talking next, because I just wasn't sure, and I was like, Anyway,
I think from now on we'll do like a thing where we hold up a pen or something. That's
the pen was perfect.
Yeah, so we'll start. Brian, make a note of that.
Yes, Kiwasabi.
Because I was trying to point to who I thought was talking next based on where I could see him on my screen, but I don't know if that's how it's displayed for you or not, and then it changes. And so yeah, the pen was. He has the talking stick.
So I just want to thank everyone for that. And hey, Mark is out there. Happy holidays, Mark. If you're a hypnotist out there, Mark actually, not even a hypnotist, I mean, hypnotists and entrepreneurs, business owners, he helps them with their social media. If you need help with that, hit Mark up. Drop your website down there, Mark, if you would. Tim, he's going to be on the show sometime. Thanks. Good to see you. He's going to be on the show. As we always ask, what was your experience like? Was it a good experience? Whether it was positive, negative, whatever, we want to hear your feedback. And even if you watch this later, still love to hear what your feedback is. I go back and answer all the comments and questions that I get on the YouTube channel.
I'm crowning Shawn like the ASMR of hypnosis. Right. Like you were like out here, and then you were like, and then I'm gonna come in very close, and you can hear every little bit. I don't care if my voice sounds like Elvis, and then you would like come back out. And
Brian.
It was beautiful. I was like,
my God.
I'm not even gonna jump on that. Let you guys roll with it.
Who is my new best friend, Mr. Bay? I have got to spend more time with you, buddy. That's when the weather clears. Let's get together.
Oh God, the roads are slippery and everything. God,
my car was frozen. There was literally a sheath when I ran out to look for that cable that I couldn't find. There was a sheath of ice on my car. I had to tap and then get it open. That was impressive.
Hate it. Becca says, "Whoa, good experience for her, I guess."
Hey, Becca, famous Becca.
You know what? I gotta say, Brian, I'm sorry I went like this to you. I thought you were interrupting me. I didn't know he was done with the induction part. I'm trying not to listen because I felt myself kind of going, no,
we all saw it. You're gonna see it on the instant replay. There was like Jim just sort of like he's reading his phone, maybe checking messages. I'm like, that's why I've got a whole separate screen I have to look at to watch all the Facebook Live comments, and that's how I can respond to you guys.
Yeah, Jim, you didn't see that I'd kind of finished okay, I'm ready for whatever you guys want to do. And I didn't notice that you weren't looking, and I kind of went like, and here you go. And you're looking down, and Brian and I are looking at each other like,
yeah, that was, and Shawn, to put kind of, I'm going to inflate your ego even more. You reached out to Becca and like knocked her out on the other side of the planet through the internet.
Over in the United Kingdom. That I thought, yeah, sure you are, buddy. But no, that actually was good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And that was my experience, Becca. The same thing. I didn't want to come back, and I remember at the time, Shawn kept trying, or like he tried to get me to move my leg or something. I was like, nope, not going to do it. Nope, not going to do it. And bringing me back, I'm like, I don't want to come back.
That is the thing about the Esdaile state, which is tough to do, because you don't know what effect people are getting, and you can't do the tests because there are 4 tests.
And sometimes they'll respond like just right away. And then sometimes you're like, okay, let's go a couple, bang, bang, bang through the rest of them.
I think
I've lost you.
He's talking about the Esdaile test, specifically to that induction, to the Esdaile.
Yeah. Process. Exactly.
What? I don't think Ryan, I don't think I'm following what you just said.
I think you're thinking of Ellman. You're thinking of Ellman, Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry. They sound alike. I
know.
Well, I basically use
my hypnosis dyslexia. Don't judge me.
No, not at all. No, that's absolutely accurate. I was using, basically that's the way he describes it in his book, which is kind of a cool story. I don't know if we'll have time for it, but you're absolutely right. I did an Ellman induction right up into the point where you go over to Esdaile, but they're both Ellman things. So you are correct. Yeah. You were hearing the Ellman induction because I did an Ellman induction right up to a certain point, and then it bifurcated over into the Esdaile process.
Well, I got to say, I was actually going, oh no, did he misunderstand me? Is he doing Ellman instead of Esdaile?
No, but you might not remember. That's what I did with you.
Oh, did you? I don't know. I don't remember. Scott wants to know what the 4 tests are.
Oh, so the 4 tests. I keep trying to get my hands on the camera.
Do we have him like look that up on the internet or?
No.
We'll tell him.
Why? He's kind enough to share his Friday with us.
Yeah.
So the first test is general anesthesia. So traditionally they would take Alice clamps, which I should have because they'd be fun to have, but they surgical clamps, and they would clap it onto here, which is really painful, and get nothing. And like when I did it to Jim, I remember, and I had not trimmed my nails for a while, latching onto the back of his hand and just going, and nothing.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. And I think at the time you said, I kind of was aware of some pressure, but you could literally see the fingernail marks in the back of his hand still. Because that was, so you get him there, do some stuff, because it was a demo again. You weren't doing a full process for a specific therapeutic end. It was just, to do a demo. Although I think, you always throw some.
So that makes so much more sense now, Shawn. Like, that's why somebody asked me, like, right after we first met at that meetup thing, someone was like, "Hey, how do you get those like 2 bruise marks right here?"
We didn't do Esdaile. You and I did not do Esdaile, and I don't.
You did Vulcan. No, I'm totally messing with you.
We can talk about what I did and what I didn't do later. Anyway,
no, I'm just goofing around and having fun.
So the first test is just general anesthesia without suggestion, and some people will, when they're demonstrating it, kind of gild the lily a little by saying something to the audience that their demo subject obviously hears. And so they're giving indirect suggestions via the audience, and that's kind of cheating. The point is, you don't tell them what the tests are before you do it. And the tests, my understanding is the tests only have meaning if they're done in a specific order, because some of them can be done even in lighter stages, but it's all 4 in order that goes, okay, yeah, this is Ellman's Esdaile state. So the first one, general anesthesia without suggestion. The second one is small muscles just not even reacting. So if I say, you know, open your eyes, in somnambulism, you'll see a flutter. They're trying to open their eyes. And usually in Esdaile, there's nothing. They're so in, it's like, I'm not even reaching for the lever for the eyes. I'm over somewhere else. Don't care. Why are you still talking? The third one is, sorry, brain locked for a second there. The way I remember it is pain little big wax. That's the way I remember it. Because the first one is you do something that's painful for the general anesthesia without suggestion. The second one is testing small muscles to see that there's not even beyond catalepsy. There's just not even flittering, not even doing anything.
Just like just dead weight.
Well, just like open your eyes. And in somnambulism, you'll see them try to do this, right? You've got eye fixation and closure. But in Esdaile, move your eyes. And it's just like there's nothing. They don't care. They're so in their own place. They're not even going to try to move their eyes.
Okay, so you're not getting any type of eye flutter.
No.
You're just like, I mean, like, open your eyes. You're like, no, I'm a teenager. Like, hipsters don't do that stuff. It's
my understanding is, yeah, if you see it, you know, you're probably not as deep as you would prefer. And, you know, you might try another round, or you might just go, well, is it deep enough for what we're trying to accomplish? You know? So, and then a big muscle group. So arm, leg, again, somnambulism, you might see a little twitch, a little movement. It's trying to do something. Esdaile, forget it. It's not doing anything, which is why there are people who will say, if you do Esdaile, they won't follow your suggestions and it's game over. They could go down and not want to come back up, and you can't do anything and you can't communicate. And so there's people now who will very specifically keep one hand, and I know I'm brain locking on names now. This is so sad. But anyway,
we'll come back to you now.
Yeah, exactly. They'll say, okay, your right hand will, no matter how deep you go, your right hand will always follow my suggestions. And so they'll set ideomotor, you know, responses with the fingers, yes finger, no finger. Leave that hand in somnambulism, so it's like the little light that goes, yeah, I'll respond, but the rest of them is just no response whatsoever. But you have to set that up. So, and then the wax is the there's a special name for it. Not catalepsy. I don't know why I'm brain locking on the name. Wow, Friday, it's been a long week. But where you basically have this sort of waxy, they'll just stay where you put them. But you can get that at a lighter level of hypnosis. I mean, I've done that in street hypnosis, but they weren't deep enough to do the other tests and pass the other tests. They weren't in an Esdaile state. So if I could get them to do this and move them around and they're fine and stay there, but they would not have had general anesthesia without suggestion. If I'd gone like that, they would have freaked out.
When you're talking about the waxy or whatever, you're almost like, okay, you're a piece of modeling clay or silly putty. I'm just going to go, okay, your hand's going to go into a fist, or raise it, and I'm just going to hold it there and be like, okay, it's locked.
The point is, with Esdaile, there's no suggestion. That's just where they end up.
Oh, just completely on their own.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Okay.
They are so deep that you do these tests. Do they react to pain? No, they're off in their own place. They don't care about the pain. They might notice there's some pressure. There's a signal. They may see a little blip of a signal on the board somewhere, but they're kind of in their own place. They don't care. Hey, would you move, you know, open your eyes, no. Big muscle group, move your arm. No, don't care. Might see a little blink in the light somewhere in my cognition. Don't care, not doing anything. I'm having fun in my hot tub over here or whatever. And then, yeah, they'll let you just move them, pose them, and they're fine with it. They don't care. And you didn't give them a suggestion to say, okay, just put your hand on an imaginary shelf like you might in street hypnosis and then work from there. So it's a different thing. And that's why you do my understanding is that's why you do certain tests in a certain order to establish, oh yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
And then which one's the balloons and buckets? Is that part of Elman or Esdaile?
Oh, no, that's just a general, they used to call them suggestibility tests, and now they call them concentration tests.
Okay.
And that's just, I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but it's a good way to kind of see their suggestibility. It's a good way to get hetero action. So if I can get you to do this, then I can get you to do this other unrelated thing, and then I'm building. Sorry, which way is the camera? I'm building on that to get you where I ultimately want you to go. So it's also a convincer. It's a test. It's a floor wax. It's a dessert polish. It's shimmer. If you remember the old Saturday Night Live commercials from way too long ago.
Yeah,
it's a Swiss Army knife.
So this is awesome. This has been awesome. I've got a hard stop in 5 minutes.
Oh.
Shawn, can you give us a 3-minute rundown of the history of Esdaile, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, okay. So, wow. All right. So 3 minutes. That's going to be tough.
You can do it.
So,
ready, go.
So James Esdaile was a Scottish surgeon. He was 21 when he got his MD. He went to India in 1845. He did his first mesmeric surgery. He did his first surgery with the anesthesia being mesmerism. And the amazing thing is he had never read a book on mesmerism. He had never even seen it done. He had a conversation with a guy. And remember, there's no anesthetic back then. Not in India. There's no chloroform. There's no ether. There's no nitrous oxide. So it's cut people really fast, and because they're writhing in pain. And so he was just like seeing this guy in pain, had heard about this stuff, decided he was going to try it. The way he did it, it was with passes over the body. And I mean, that's a whole, I mean, I wish we could have more time to talk about that, because the difference between what he was doing and then what now is thought of as Esdaile and what the processes are is a whole cool, interesting, different thing. So for a long time, hypnotic coma, as it was called, was sort of believed to be just a thing that happens. You don't want to bring it on. You're kind of in trouble if it happens. Sometimes you can't get people out of it because, as you say, they're having a great time. They don't want to get out of the pool. But people didn't even know that's what was happening. Esdaile figured out that, he talked to people that actually got out of it and find out, they're in a great state. They don't want to come out. So to get them out, you threaten, hey, if you don't come out when I tell you, I'll make it so you can never do that again. So that's how he had the quick way to get people out. And he taught his people that. And then he was doing classes, and he had a doctor that said, hey, in fact, I just looked it up. It was in Baltimore. I forget the date. And he had a student who said, hey, I've got this guy. He goes really deep. I think with a little help from you, we could put him in the Esdaile state. Would you be willing to try? And he goes, yeah. He thought, okay, I'll try, and I'll either find out that it's something that's possible, or I'll find out it doesn't work. And they did it with this guy, and it's a group of doctors, because he taught doctors then, and they just played with this guy. And like one of the things they did was they put a lit match between his thumb and his index finger, and then watched to see if he'd let himself get burnt. And this imperceptibly, right as it was going to burn him, he'd move and it would fall. And there's 4 words in the book that I just, at that moment, that cracked me up. He describes that, and then he goes, we did this repeatedly. Like, how many matches did you put on this guy? And they worked with him till like 2 a.m. And then finally, we're going to bring him out. And he's like, don't bring him out the regular way. We'll yell fire. We'll say we're going home. We're going to leave him here locked up all night. Finally, they get him out. And they're like, well, why didn't you come out those other times? And he was like, I didn't want to. I could hear what you were saying. Yeah, I dropped the match when I thought it would burn me, but I didn't worry about his carpet because I knew you were all here watching. One of you had put it out. It was just like, yeah, I know. I knew there was no fire. Why didn't you guys leave if there was a fire? So I was happy where I was. It was just so interesting. But I loved the doctor, the scientific. Let's put a match in his hand and see if it burns. In fact, Esdaile, the first person he had in the Esdaile state, actually touched fire to his leg, and the guy did not move. So actually burnt the guy. And another thing he did was they actually, eyes were closed. They actually pried open his eyelids facing the sun, and saw that his pupils were still dilated, and it's written as if belladonna had been used to dilate the pupils, which was why he was going, there's no way you're doing this over force of will, because people can't by will control the dilation of their pupil with sunlight coming in.
So interesting. Shawn, thank you so much.
Thank you for your infinite patience in having me.
No, I'm happy to have you. If you want to know more about the Esdaile, go Google it. It's Esdaile. Esdaile. Look it up.
There's so much stuff out there.
Fascinating stuff. Go check it out. I do want to thank Brian, of course. Shawn, thanks so much for being on, guys.
Happy
Brian,
to join
thank you so
guys.
much.
I do wish we could chat all night, but I do have a hard stop. I gotta run. But and thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great holiday. Download the Hypnosis Hero. app,
Happy holidays.
Hypnosis Hero app. Bunch of downloads on there for you to listen to. Hypnosis downloads. Catch us next Friday. Take care. Be well.
Happy
Yes,
holidays,
Brian.
everybody. Stay free. Happy New Year. We'll see you next time.
Take care on the weather, guys, and everybody else.
Be awesome.